Today we're in the tool shed. We're talking RSI. What is RSI? Should you use the RSI indicator when you're day trading stocks, futures, cryptocurrency, all that fun stuff? Let's talk about it. Let's just discuss the RSI and how this morning the RSI pointed out a key thing that led to a nice, beautiful opportunity to make lots and lots of money. Gonna break it all down right here in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here. Today we're talking RSI. RSI for day trading, swing trading, long-term trading, trading in general. You can use it for stocks, crypto. You can use it for futures. You can use it for pretty much anything that has a candlestick chart. First off, what is the RSI? The Relative Strength Index is a momentum indicator used in technical analysis that measures magnitude of recent price changes to evaluate overbought and oversold conditions in the price of a stock or asset. An asset is usually considered overbought when the RSI is above 70% and oversold when it's below 30%. All right, that's something to really think about. Really focus on those numbers: 70%, 30%, oversold, overbought. And that's really kind of what I'm focused on when it comes to RSI. Now, at the end of the day, every indicator that we're using is a lagging indicator, right? It's never going to tell us exactly where the market's going to move in the future. The indicators are following the price action. The indicators are not determining where the price is going to go. They're just following the actual price action. So the data that the indicator is getting is coming from the price action that is happening like pretty much like at that moment, but not like telling you exactly like, okay, you know, this is going to go exactly this way or this is going to go that way. So when it comes to indicators, you got to remember that. You know, you're never going to have exactly like, oh, this is exactly where you should get long or where you should get bought and things like that. The overall indicators really just give us a map or give us a reason to think about a long or to think about a short. Pulling up the QQQ, this is the NASDAQ, looking here at the RSI this morning. And I talked about this during the live stream. I'm going to take away some of these other patterns so we don't have to look at those right now. But you can basically see this morning, the market gapped up. We had a gap in the chart. Remember, we talk about these gap fills all the time. Guess what happened to fill in the gap there? But look at this move up. We push up to this level here, 292, pretty much like 292 flat. But if you look down here at the RSI was pinging above 70, like 73 here, which is pretty high for being overbought. It was ping, ping, ping. And then once we basically like topped out, the market then moved down and we got that break to the downside. So really, where's your entry at here for the RSI? Again, like I said, it's lagging, right? The RSI is lagging. It's following the price action. So where would your entry be? I think for me, what I'm thinking with the RSI is I like to have it on at least one of my charts here on the channel, or you know, on my computer. I have it on one chart. I have multiple charts pulled up, but I have the RSI here on this chart, and it kind of gives me an idea, like, are we at a extremely overbought level, or are we at an extreme oversold level? And that's exactly what we're focused on with the RSI for me personally. Like, I don't really care where the RSI is in the middle, but if we get to a point where the RSI is really overbought or really oversold, that's telling me there's a possible trend change, there's a possible pullback happening, or is a possible bottom based off of the overall just RSI with it overbought or oversold. Hey, if you guys want to learn more about the charts that I'm using here in this video with the RSI, all the indicators, I'll put a link down below. You guys can sign up through TradingView and check out all of the different options. You got so many different options with the indicators and ways that you can customize the charts and all that fun stuff. They have the new desktop app as well. It's what I'm using every day when I'm trading here using the TradingView charts. And you can see this morning as I pull this up, if you go like that, you can see we are basically hitting 74, 75, which is almost all the way at the peak, being overbought. So the market this morning moves up, it gets overbought, and then sells off, and guess where it goes? Back down there to the 30s, being kind of that oversold area. And that's exactly kind of where the bottom ended up being as well. So you had two kind of overall, I would say, indicators here, or two kind of alerts in the sense that the market was at an all kind of time high in terms of the RSI this morning. That's when the sell-off started. We filled the gap, and then guess what? Once we hit the lows, that 30 area on the RSI, down here at the bottom, when we hit 287, we then started to move back up. So what is that telling me? First off, right in the morning, that we're overbought, and it's a good time to think about, number one, not getting long. Like, I don't want to get long when we're pinging at the top of that overbought status. Like, if we're pinging overbought, well, then I don't want to be getting long up there, right? Like, I don't want to be buy, because there's a good chance this pulls back. And then the same idea, when we're down here at the bottom of the RSI, down here at the 30s, you can see down here at the bottom of the RSI, I don't want to be getting short because, well, there's probably not much more room to go. Maybe a little bit of room to go here, but in general, I would expect to bounce back up, and that's exactly what we got. So during the live stream this morning, talking about that multiple times, like, hey, like, how much further can we go down? There's obviously always, possibility of going lower, but do I want to get short when our RSI is at the extreme low, or do I want to get long, when the RSI is at the extreme high? And what's interesting, if you look yesterday, same kind of setup as well here in the morning. Look at the RSI out of the open. We are all the way down here. I mean, this is like extremely low on the RSI, down to the 13, 15 area on the RSI. So you're thinking again, do I want to be shorting down here at the bottom when the RSI is all the way down here? Like, do I want to be shorting down there? Probably not, because guess what? We found a bottom and then we pushed back up. We kind of went sideways, had a little push later on the day, but again, the RSI giving us that indicator like, hey, look, we're at an extreme high, we're at an extreme low, and that's exactly what I'm looking at. For me, like I said, I'm not really worried about when the RSI is in the middle here. If the RSI is, in the middle, not really worried about it. I'm not thinking about it. But if we're down here in an extremely low area, well, then I'm thinking like, hey, okay, maybe I should be thinking about getting long, based off of support. Are we at a support level? Are we at a key level? What am I watching there? And again, when the RSI peaking up to the highs, I definitely probably want to either take profit or want to be thinking like, hey, there's a chance that this is going to pull back here. And we can kind of go through it. You can see pretty much every time that we ping, the RSI gets up to these level, that 79, 80 level. It was 80 here, 79 there. You can see that pullback here. So the RSI is right here at 78, and we dropped from 288 down there to 285. It's pretty spot on in terms of like giving you an idea of where the extremes, are high and low. And again, I think that's like the focus here is looking for the extremes, right? We got this extremely oversold area here down to the 24s. And then guess what? We found a bottom after gapping down there. We had that bottom there at 277. We pushed up to 82. So definitely focusing really kind of on the extreme highs, the extreme lows when it comes to the RSI. Not so much worried about the middle area, but really just kind of like once I see that we're at an extremely high or extremely low, that just gives me an idea like, okay, do I want to be, opening a short? Do I want to be opening a long? Same thing the other day. This was like 30 minutes. You can see the RSI was pretty low. But again, guys, like we're adding up multiple indicators, right? Like we're not just buying because the RSI is at a low. We're not just selling because the RSI is at a high. We need, number one, to be like, okay, are we at a support level? Are we pushing up? What's the trend? What's the RSI doing? I'm putting all of these different indicators kind of into one thought process of, do I get long? Do I get short? And what is going on with the overall chart? I'm not just like, oh, I'm going to get short because the RSI, or, oh, I'm going to get long because the RSI. Like, I'm looking at the RSI, yes, but I want to make sure that there's other things on the chart, with the VWAP and other things that I talk about here on the channel, especially like this morning, the gap fill. We had a perfect example this morning with the RSI ping at the highs being overbought on the RSI. Where is it at? We're overbought on the RSI. But guess what we have? We have this massive gap. I don't want to say massive. We have this gap in the chart there. And what do I know about gaps in the chart? Those gaps love to get filled. So, that's pointing to me being like, okay, look, we have really overbought RSI. We're up here kind of like yesterday's resistance right at that level, but we have this gap in the chart. So those are three things that are basically like pointing to the idea of this going lower. And then especially once we break below the VWAP, you know, we test the VWAP, we kind of just shoot, we're going lower. So what did that tell me? It's time to get short. You know, I've got 4 or 5 different indicators that are telling me that this is a pretty good short opportunity. So that's what I'm looking to get short. I'm looking to add up multiple indicators. The more indicators that I can add up, you know, if I can have support resistance, if I can have the RSI at an extreme high or extreme low, if I can have the VWAP like breaking or going up or recovering the VWAP, you know, if I can have the overall just trend change as well, like all 4 of those things all adding up perfectly at that level, well, it's time to get short, right? It's time to get long based off of all those different indicators. So there it is, the RSI. It's a tool that I have in my workshop, or I have it in my tool bag, and it's a tool that, you know, like I said, I'm not trying to figure out like during the day if the RSI is in the middle. I'm not sitting there going, oh, you know, I want to figure out what the RSI is doing. I'm more focused on looking at the RSI to find those extreme highs and those extreme lows being overbought and oversold. And I think that's kind of a good way to look at it. I don't think it's something that you should be using like every single trade you get into. You're like, oh, well, you know, the RSI is in the middle, or oh, the RSI is at 40, the RSI is at 50. But, you know, if you see that the RSI is at an extreme high or an extreme low, well, that'll kind of give you a better kind of overall idea of like what, you know, what we should be doing and what we should be doing at those levels. So there it is, the RSI, my friends. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, hit it, or hit it. I'll talk to you guys later on.
Yeah.